My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Scorpios. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general love reading of 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 12 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love and devotion towards my channel and myself. I love you guys incredibly, and thank you so much for your love and devotion towards me. This 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second, the other person, the third, the relationship, fourth, the past, fifth, the future. Now I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you, and then a Favole, and then one from the French Tarot deck of the Tarot Interdit Vampiria. Let's get started with card number 1, which is for you. Hermits. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of getting, especially the ones who are single, but you could also be pondering and thinking about your current relationship as well. Because the hermit is all about doing introspection. It's kind of like needing some alone time, or maybe you are actually, just spending time alone, or maybe you are taking a metaphorical or actual break from your current loved one, your spouse, whoever you're currently with. But I'm just kind of thinking that, there's a bit of hesitation, taking place in this reading and stuff like that, because why else would you need to be pondering something? Okay, 100% your prerogative, but that's always a good thing to always, ask yourself to say, what do I personally want in this relationship? It's like if you're somehow unhappy or you're pretty much just not getting any kind of joy or excitement in this relationship, maybe that's what you're kind of pondering, and maybe you're just kind of, thinking through the whole relationship of thinking, is this what I truly want, wish, and desire? But it could also be you're doing introspection because perhaps you've been through a divorce or a breakup, and maybe you're just kind of doing introspection and needing to have alone time of doing self-healing, self-care, licking your wounds, whatever it is that humans do. But it could also be where you're still doing a lot of introspection while you still haven't found Mr. or Mrs. Right yet in your current life. Again, to each their own. It is a general reading, but let's see who the other person is or could be. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, could be a Taurus, Capricorn, Earth. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Earth card for that matter. But what I actually see here is, this person is also incredibly stable. Or maybe you even have Earth placements as well. But what I'm actually mostly getting here, especially for the single ones, is you seem to be okay being in a single position. Maybe you're not, excited enough to, or you don't have the craving or desire to want to get out and find people at the moment. Maybe, either A, you've been through a negative breakup or a divorce, or maybe, you still haven't found Mr. or Mrs. Right yet, and you're just actually heading away from it all and focusing on your own dreams, goals, endeavors, and ambitions as well. And maybe, you do have this realistic idea because senses are one of your beautiful, strong, themes, because, maybe you're just thinking, it's like, I'm okay being in a single position, I don't really have the desire to want to have to get out at the moment. Or maybe you're doing a lot of introspection and you're pretty much, realizing that you're very grounded, you're very hardworking, maybe you have abundance, maybe you have a really good everything, like a house, a car, vehicle, whatever, anything, and yeah, now you're pretty much, prepared to head out into this world to find Mr. or Mrs. Right. Or on a beautiful, positive note, you're currently with, your long-lasting committed relationship, partner, spouse, husband, wife, whoever you're with, and, you're already in a very beautiful, grounded, and realistic, dream in current times. Because the relationship of what is or could be, 4 of Swords. Okay, it's about needing to rest and relax. Okay, so what I actually mostly see here is you've probably been through a divorce or a breakup, or maybe you've been rejected, refused, whatever, that's causing you to have to leave the whole situation because now you're in need of rest. Okay, well, it's, rest is important, 100% your prerogative. I want to wish you all the best. I hope you're doing a lot of self-care, self-healing. Of course, doing a lot of self-development, because what I always want to add, hypothetically, if you've just been rejected or ignored, refused based off of just basic reasons, because humans tend to be just very shallow and one-sided. Hypothetically, if that is the case, my antidote that I want to provide for you is focus on your own dreams, goals, and ambitions, and really start outshining everybody. Turn into this real big, strong, capable, shiny beacon. Aim for any kind of top tier anything, and maybe you want to do makeovers. Maybe, develop and learn new skills, languages, music, arts, sports, whatever that humans do and stuff like that. And maybe go off to the gym or something that humans do and stuff like that. But to turn yourself into this very top tier individual, as as best as you can be, of course. And then should that person I once ignored and refused to return and say, oh wow, actually I didn't realize that you were doing that, huh? Yeah, how about we try, courting each other again? Ignore them. Refuse them. To say, you had your chance to actually help me turn into this wonderful, beautiful beacon that you pretty much admire now. Yes, I'm rich and successful. Yes, I drive, the top tier vehicles, or I have this top paying job, whatever it may be. And then just ignore those people, and then and then rest up in your current times as well. But I would actually just be focusing so much on your own current endeavors and stuff like that. But you could also be doing a lot of pondering, a lot of self-reflection, whatever it is that humans do and stuff like that. But anyway, I do see some form of movement taking place. But I think well, it's important to also rest up for health reasons. Past. Prince of Scepters, Knight of Wands. So you already had this very strong, passionate drive within you in the past. Okay, so hopefully you are with currently Mr. or Mrs. Right in your life. So congratulations on putting time and effort onto this voyage, on wherever it took you or wherever it may take you and stuff like that. Or you could also be with a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in this reading for that me. But either way, if you still haven't found Mr. or Mrs. Right yet, maybe that's why you're pondering, and maybe you still haven't found whoever is out there, stuff like that. But eventually something, will click as long as you put time and effort, maybe engage in social activities or whatever that humans do and stuff like that. But either way, because back in my time, the way humans courted each other was, by communicating with each other in taverns, but the most important step that they always took was just, that their eyes met and stuff like that, because eyes are definitely an important tool for communication. So maybe you have to go to a tavern, bar, whatever humans do these days or something, or any kind of social gathering, because I remember that's how my parents mostly met. I actually was at this bonfire, and again, it's how they, their eyes just clicked with each other, and that's how they met each other. So the future. Ooh, Seven of Swords. Well, the Seven of Swords has different meanings. So on a positive note, it's about having a really good strategy and plan and thinking, okay, how am I going to get my target or victim for that matter? But on a negative, it's pretty much a con artist of wanting to actually, deceive somebody and stuff like that. So hypothetically, it's like, well, maybe you're kind of worried about meeting that Mr. or Mrs. Right, because maybe you've been through enough breakups or divorces where, people have broken your heart for the wrong reasons, and now you're just kind of, resting up from it all, and you're just doing a lot of introspection because you're worried about, people breaking your heart for the wrong reasons. My suggestion would always be is maybe ask friends, family, whoever you trust the most, regarding any kind of fears that you currently have, regarding any future, of any kind of, worries about this moment. But it could also be, to also talk to other people about a really good plan on finding that Mr. or Mrs. Right, and where you should engage in social activities for that matter as well. But again, it is a general reading. It doesn't have to be resonating for other people. Or you could also be heading towards an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Or you could also have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Virgo, or because Oracle wants to say anti-hero, maverick, risk taker, and rule breaker. Ooh. Okay, are you interested in the bad boy, bad girl archetype? But the thing is, being an anti-hero, doesn't mean you're bad. Being a maverick, risk taker, or even rule breaker does not make you bad at all. So hypothetically, if you feel like, that people, just only see you because, if you come across as being some kind of maverick or risk taker, and people are just thinking, yeah, I don't really care for such types of people. The thing is it doesn't mean one is bad. Just because you will ride a motorcycle doesn't mean you're weird. It's, or just because, you dress a certain way, or you enjoy wearing leather or fur or something doesn't, will make one, will seem like they are an anti-hero for that matter. I mean, technically, I'm considered an anti-hero because I'm a vampire and a monster and a maverick, or, it's like I'm not really well, I am sort of a risk taker by actually, telling the world about me being a vampire, but am I a rule breaker? It really depends on the context, of course. So, let's see what Favole has. Seven of Swords again. Oh my goodness. So I feel like, either you're going to have an excellent plan strategy or you're worried about dealing with some kind of a con artist. Hypothetically, if you are doing some kind of makeover and stuff like that, and you want to start changing, your history, or you want to start, coming across as, thinking, oh yeah, it's like if you start, making up tales, because you want to, come across as being, this real strong, confident individual, be careful with, such tales, because the thing is, it's like if you say, yeah, I used to do this and that, and later on the other person, finds out that it was incorrect what you said, that could also cause problems as well. But either way, it's like it's best just to try to, to be as open and honest as possible, just so people, can then, will feel this trust and eventually form a bond with you and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I mostly also see you doing, is actually creating and planning ahead on wherever you may head towards. You could also be heading towards breakup, divorce, or you could also be heading towards your own solo, single journey, of wherever it may take you. And this could also be you planning to find that Mr. or Mrs. Right in your life. Because the French Tarot deck wants to finish off with Cavalier de Pieux. Oh, and Leo got this one as well. No. Yes, or even Virgo for that matter, or even... But anyway, what I see you doing is Page of Wands. You're heading out on this journey because, you already had this ambition, already from the Knight of Wands in the past, so now you're pretty much heading off towards wherever it may take you. It looks incredibly passionate, determined. It looks like you're really, heading towards something, and wherever it may take you, it's like if you want to be a maverick, be a maverick. If you want to be an anti-hero, there's really nothing wrong with being an anti-hero. And either way, it's like it's always good to do a lot of self-reflection and pondering wherever and however you want to live your life in the future as well. Okay. Well, for my beautiful, amazing Scorpios, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now. But if this reading resonated for you, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. Love you guys incredibly. In a few days, I'm going back to general reading. So for now, I'm just doing love in general. But if you want to have a personal reading, all you have to do, subscribe to my channel. My goodness, sometimes my hair just gets in the way. Is subscribe to my channel, post in the little discussion box below. Then you want a reading from me, and I'll respond to you with my email. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me today. I love you guys incredibly, and best of luck on where this journey may take you.